Hey guys, here we are, the Quiggin Out MMA Podcast. We've got two guests tonight, one that's going to jump on later, but the first and foremost, we've got Ike Vallie-Flagg coming up, and he's got the biggest opportunity probably of his life. You may disagree, but him fighting for the bare knuckle fighting championship lightweight title. How you doing, Ike?
I'm good, man. Just like you said, just getting ready to fight. 10 days out and kind of putting in the last hard work, or that I need to for the fight.
And absolutely, and I think the funniest thing about this is that, I'd seen posts from you for months where you're like, I'm ready. People say, when are you going to fight next? And you're like, I'm always ready. So I love that kind of idea that you had. So tell me how this fight with Palamino came to fruition and how you, ended up taking that one.
It was something. So they had announced the fight with Jim, and it sounds like one of Jim's coaches or corner people who's got some pre-existing conditions. And I don't want to sound like I'm bad mouthing him, so this might not be completely accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But one of Jim's coaches came down with COVID, and he had to pull out of the fight, and which sucks because Jim, I know Jim has been vocal about this, but he worked his butt off too for this,
Mm-hmm.
But when an opportunity pops up, you don't say no, and I didn't say no.
Oh, and
so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
it's something I've been still working this whole time, man. The goal was, I wanted to fight Jim, not because of bad blood, but just because Jim's a tough dude, and he is. I mean, and obviously that's the fight you want, especially for a belt. I think that me and him would have made a heck of a good scrap too, and so I was rallying for that, and it didn't happen. But like I said, things happen, especially right now in like the COVID world that we're living in, and I jumped on the opportunity.
Absolutely, and normally I try to shy away from the COVID conversation, but there's no way to shy away from it in this sense because it's really, as unfortunate as to Jim, and I hope, his cornermen, his coaches, whoever, is dealing with that, they're safe and they, recover quickly. But it's because of that you're in this opportunity. So do you feel that, if you go in there, you take out Palamino, Jim is the guy you want next?
Absolutely, Jim's a tough, hard-nosed dude. I got Palomino first. I mean, obviously that's my main concern. But yeah, of course I want Jim. I started messaging Jim about gunning for him a few months ago because that's what I want. He's undefeated, and we were all supposed to be in that lightweight tournament, and then things happened with things shutting down. So, he's the guy who I want. He's the guy who. I think will make a heck of a good fight. Also, this Palomino fight's going to be a scrap for sure. But Jim's the guy who I want.
Well, and absolutely, and Luis Palamino is no stranger to those in the MMA world. Those fights he had with Justin Gaethje back in the World Series of Fighting days. So, it seems like, there's a lot of people who have criticism when it comes to bare knuckle, where they're like, oh, it's kind of like the end of the road, or it's for those fighters, and not my words. Washed up fighters, but I feel like a lot of fighters have gained, they've been reborn, and I feel like a lot has happened in your life since 2018, since your first bare knuckle fight. So do you feel like this is the way to go and something you can continue to do for quite some time?
Yeah, so I like it. I like the platform. I like that we're just using our hands, and it is something that I could continue to do for a while. I love MMA. That's and I will always love MMA. But if there's no doors open for me in MMA, then not like bare knuckles a second place thing, but it's something that it's a new kind of opportunity. I wanted to check it out and see what I could do with it.
Mm-hmm. And what made you make that jump to bare knuckle, especially 2 years ago? You just passed 40. I'm sorry, but you're still fighting. And you're rocking that missing tooth there, so that's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah, I need to get that put in after the fight. So the bare knuckle thing came about. Joe Stevenson kind of hit me up and asked me if I wanted to try it out, and I, the last the last several years, I had a bunch of stuff. Things got really dark for me, and I really never felt like I did what I should have with MMA, because I was too messed up mentally and physically, and I had all kinds of stuff going on, and so this is kind of a way for me to continue doing something that I love. If I didn't love fighting, I wouldn't be doing it. It's not like I need the paycheck. It's just I love to do it. And so I just wanted to kind of give myself the opportunity to see what I could do with this sport as well.
And I kind of love that because I talked to Tom Schaff. His fight was one of the first ones I had seen in bare knuckle, like in person. And I've seen a lot of things over MMA, over the years covering MMA, and hearing that first punch land in bare knuckle was like the worst sound I've ever heard in my life. So, and it's grown on me because it is something, the 2-minute rounds, the ring instead of the cage, and of course, it's a lot more brutal than boxing. So why do you think it's really taken off, and why do you think it really pulled you in to be like, this is what I want to do?
Well, so I like not having the gloves. Man, I don't know why it pulled me in. I just, so I talked to Leonard after his first fight, and we both, it's like a totally new adrenaline rush. And you just kind of, just like with MMA, I just fell in love with it. I think it's the just using the hands. I think it's the being able to clench. It's kind of what I like to do, and it's just a new adrenaline rush that I experienced when I first got into MMA, and I haven't had in a long time, and I get it back again when I do the bare knuckle.
Sorry, there's a helicopter going. And I love that it's bringing life into, like you said, as fighters get older, it's not like all the other sports where there's a contingency plan and there's something waiting for them afterwards. It's not always that way in fighting, but with this is something you can sustain, longer than you would be able to in MMA. So I really love what bare knuckle has done with the, bringing in the people they have.
Yeah, I do too, and I'm excited to see the growth of the sport because of that, I think it'll be exciting to see when younger guys start doing it too, like newer younger guys really get into it and it really develops in that way too. Mm-hmm. But for right now, it's cool seeing guys who are kind of, I guess, older. I will say longer in the tooth or whatever.
Longer tenured, yeah.
Yeah. You have guys like Rickels, of course, and then the guy who Carlos fought that I wanted to fight. I can't think of his name.
Oh God, now you got
me. Alves.
Yeah, Thiago Alves. Yeah.
He's getting into it. And you get to see some real, some guys do just hand stuff that are, mostly stand-up fighters. And not without worrying about the ground game. Mm-hmm. So it's cool to see kind of the way this is going.
Yeah, and absolutely, and I think you're absolutely right. And when it comes to, bare knuckle has been very select on who they're bringing in, and they're doing that for a reason because you have to start from somewhere. So you start with like a little bit, get a couple accomplished names. You've had Leben, you've got Lombard, Leonard Garcia, Melvin Gillard, who obviously you fought, and do it that way. And I feel like that's the right way to do it. I've always said that Bellator kind of needs to shy away from doing that. They try to bring in all these, veterans, these people to put more eyes on the sport, but their real talent has been, homegrown talent. Guys like Daniel Strauss, Michael Chandler, Dave Rickels, of course. So, I really love what they're doing.
And that's also MMA, and I think you can't be known in MMA as kind of like, picking up guys who get cut from the UFC. That's not what you want to be known as, and not that that's what Bellator is. They've got the Juan Archuletas and Aaron Picos and some seriously talented dudes, but I think people are more, they think of things like that more with Bellator. Again, I hope I don't sound like I'm insulting Bellator because I think they have an amazing platform, it's I think it's a perception of casual, especially casual MMA fans,
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you feel like, what has the reception been with you doing bare knuckle with, those closest or, even fans, have they reached out and been like, oh, I love watching you fight, or, do a lot of people, give the criticism for it, or what has the reaction been for you?
I mean, so far it's just been, I mean, pretty good. Pretty good, I mean, I've had a good reception with it. People I guess, like to watch me fight in this respect and all that kind of stuff. So, the only person who's, I think, leery about it is my wife, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, so, I can understand that.
Yeah. I'm already ugly enough, and she's not wanting me to come home any more ugly than I am. So it's one of those things where, she won't watch them because it's bare knuckle. She went to MMA fights and stuff like that, but she won't watch these because they're bare knuckle. Like, it scares the hell out of her,
Mm-hmm.
So, but other than that, like, fans, it seems like fans are kind of taking to it, and it's just, I mean, it's like anything else. It's the first reaction that you get. I think even from MMA fans is, why the heck, it's like when MMA was new, you got, why the hell are you doing this? It's a fight with small gloves. Now it's a fight with no gloves or whatever. So, I think that I've had a couple of the what the hell, but for the most part, it's, a fight's a fight,
And I love that you brought up the wife thing, because, people forget fighters have families. Like, I really feel like that happens. So, what was that conversation with her when you said, hey, I want to start doing bare knuckle? Was she just, absolutely not, do not do this?
Well, no, so again, going back to Joe Stevenson, who I'll bring up again, he was like, I need your wife, he's like, I have this opportunity for you, but I need your wife to be there too. Like, I need to talk to her and make sure she's okay with this. Because, I mean, me and Joe have been friends for a while, and she, when I heard the news that when I might get a bare knuckle fight, she did for the first time, and I think action was, sure, cool, get it out of your system, you'll do one and it'll be done. And then I fell in love with it. Now she's just like, Jesus Christ, another thing. So,
and I can see why she thinks that. So
oh yeah, I totally get it. I mean, we're going to bare knuckle fight each other. Like, guys who are good at fighting going to bare knuckle fight each other. That sounds like horrible, especially to a wife. And she's not, not in the martial arts world or anything like that. So she's just like, Jesus, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and I can imagine that's usually reaction. Talking with other fighters and they're talking about, why they started fighting. Most of the time it is, what the hell are you doing? Like, why do you want to do this? So, it's crazy because just prior to the show, I was watching that interview you guys did with the MMA Roasted podcast with Ian McCall, and it was so funny because they asked you if you lived in your car, and you're like, well, some of us actually have a job.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's that. I mean, I have a job. I just do this for shits and giggles at this point,
And I think that's a really good thing and a really, sad thing at the same time, is that, fighters can't just do, a lot of fighters can't just do one or the other. So what's your day job? Like, what are you doing when you're not, getting teeth knocked out inside the ring?
So the teeth. First off, the teeth. I'm going to defend this again.
Oh.
Teeth was when I was a kid, long before I started doing MMA, and then I got to get oral surgery, and so I'm just waiting until I'm done fighting until they have to actually cut into my jaw. You know what I mean? So I'm just waiting, and and then getting a flipper put in. But my day job is doing home remodel stuff. So we go in and we might go into Ouray, Colorado after this. After a little bit to do some stuff, some higher end stuff in Ouray. So, we do fairly high end bathroom and kitchen remodels, and then kind of whatever we can,
Have you ever gotten to a job and somebody been like, "Oh my God, it's you"? Like, it's.
Oh, no. I'm not that big of a deal at all.
Oh, come on! You've been fighting for 17 years.
Yeah, most people I fought 3 fights or 4 fights in the UFC. It wasn't it wasn't as popular as it is now. I get that. I don't get that at all. I get the you must be a fighter because my ears messed up, but not the oh my God, it's you. So
understandable. So what has driven you to fight for as long as you have? Because 17 years professional. whether you did any fights before that, like that's a long time to do it. So is it just that drive to compete, or is it just something you really love that much?
I think it's a drive to compete, a little bit of adrenaline rush. I do love fighting. I mean, it really is the kind of the ultimate one-on-one competition, right? I mean, I love it. Again, I love it, or else I wouldn't do it. There's never been like the greatest money in this, in fighting in general. I just enjoy doing it.
Absolutely, and I love that you've carried it on this long, and like you said, we found new life when it comes to bare knuckle, and I don't want to dig too much into your personal life, but 2018 was a big year for you, making that turnaround. So how important was that for you in your, not only in your professional career but in your personal life?
Yeah, it was super important to me. It's something that I wanted to. Again, I think a lot of the stuff that I have gone through has given me a whole shitload of. Oh, I don't know if I can swear.
You can say whatever you want. That's fine.
It gave me a whole bunch of Souths out, so it's nice to like turn around and be able to win some fights, and do something that I love again, and it kind of gets rid of some of that doubt, and it's making me see that a lot of it's just making me see that a lot of what I did before, if I hadn't have messed up so bad, I think I would have been a little bit better at the sport of mixed martial arts, but it is what it is, and it's kind of breathing new life into this part of my career.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't want to go too much into it because I'm sure everybody asked about it, and I'm sure you went through enough of that already. But I loved seeing the upswing, seeing the positiveness that came out of that, and you seem like you're in pretty good spirits, and you're 10 days out from a title fight, so obviously things are going in the right direction.
Yeah, all this stuff. I mean, look, and I always say, especially after everything that I went through with the addiction stuff, like anything that happens and I'm on this side of the dirt is a good day, So like stuff like getting a fight for a title, anything like that, anything good that's happening is just icing on the cake, I mean, like I'm lucky to be here, and the fact that I get to do any of this, like anything, and not be confined to a cell or not be like really kind of slave to an addiction, is a wonderful thing, and just icing on the cake, So I'm just happy to still be doing it,
Absolutely. Well, it looks like Caveman's about to join us. If that's all right
Cool.
with you. Let's bring on the Caveman himself. Let's see if he can hear us. Hey!
What up?
All right, Caveman Ike Caveman. I don't know if you two have ever met,
Not yet.
I don't know if we ever have or not.
What's up, man?
Sorry.
I don't think so. I'm good, man.
We were talking a lot of shit about
finished
you
the
before we
steak
got
in
on,
3 minutes just so I could be on this.
Well, I appreciate it. So we were just talking about, the new life of, bare knuckle, and how we went from, we've got UFC vet, Strikeforce vet, and now Bellator vet, and how we feel like it's really changing the landscape of, not just the MMA world, but fighting in general.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely needs more, I mean, for sure. They need more fights. They just got to put out more content, man, and COVID really fucked shit up. I mean, that's just the truth of it. Yeah. They had the ball rolling. Everything was looking good. Man, they took a big hit when they flew everybody out here, got everybody 24 hours out. My event was canceled. So, no one gets to be privy to the new star of bare knuckle fighting, which is Caveman Rickels, baby.
Well, like you said, we've got BKFC 11 featuring, Ike Vallie-Flagg taking on Luis Palamino for the title. And then from what I see, BKFC 12.
Is that next week?
Yeah.
Hey, is that next week? Fucking A, man.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Hey, I hate to do this, but whatever StreamYard hates me when more than one person gets on, so I might have to cut out because I'm like, my audio's trash.
I can still hear you. You're good. Can you hear us?
Hey, have fun in there next week if you jump out.
I can't hear a damn thing, guys.
All right, hold on. StreamYard just hates us. That's basically what it is. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's just kind of spotty. I apologize, guys.
Hey, you're fine. Listen, man, it's
All right.
technology. It's 2020. Let's see. Well, Ike, if you have to go, if you can't hear us, we're having a technical difficulty, I think we're going to need to talk to you next time, and there better be a big gold belt around that shoulder when we do that.
Kick some ass next week.
Sorry, guys. I apologize. I'll have to step off, I guess. So you guys have a great conversation, and hopefully I'll see you fighting soon.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll
Thanks, man.
catch up.
Thank you.
Oh, poor man. What's up, Caveman?
What up?
Dude, thank you for taking
That
the
sucks.
time.
I was looking forward to talking to him.
I know. Well, we'll figure it out. You know, we'll have to get the three of us together in a room. You know, I'm sure that wouldn't be too hard.
No.
No.
Have you been going? I thought we talked about this. You've been going to the Bare Knuckles, right? Or you went to one at least?
I went to 2. I went to, I think, 6 and 8. So I saw, the Artem and Paulie fight, and I saw the...
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Dude, I had Artem that whole
was a
time.
big
I was
fight.
like, Paulie's not even going to stand a chance. And it's so funny because being there and then watching the fight on TV, 2 different experiences. Because anytime Paulie would land a single punch, crowd went nuts.
Oh, for real?
Anytime Artem landed anything, but on TV...
They just weren't.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, fun fact, if you watch, I think it's UFC 46, and Frank Mir breaks Tim Sylvia's arm. If you watch that live, the crowd starts booing when Herb Dean stops the fight. Like, straight up starts booing. But when you watch it on a DVD, no more booing. It's fascinating.
Right. Weird.
I wonder how that
Weird
happened.
how that works.
So, BK, last time we talked, no fight on the horizon. Now it looks like we have a
That
fight.
motherfucker is missing teeth. He looks like a bare knuckle fighter.
So we talked about it, and I was like, so what do you do in your day job when you're not getting your teeth knocked out? And he's like, listen. He goes, I'm going to defend this. He goes, this actually happened as a kid before I ever fought. I was like, oh,
shit, that's crazy.
Sorry.
He seems like a great dude. He's really talented. What weight does he fight at? 65 or 75?
He's fighting a lightweight, so is that 55? That should be 55.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Are you fighting at 65 or 75? What are we doing?
I'm fighting at 75, son. I'm fucking yoked right now. I got that quarantine body, son.
Don't we all, man? Don't we all? So I'm just excited that we get
I
to
put
talk
on a lot
about
of
fights.
muscle, man. Like, all I could find myself to do was, like, lift weights during all this shit. And I put on a lot of... I'm jacked, son. Ready to beat somebody up.
Absolutely. So do we know who we're fighting? Are we allowed to
The
say?
Sandman
do you know,
Stevenson, I guess. The same fucking dude I was supposed to fight. As far as I know...
Was it Nico Hernandez?
No, dude.
Just
I
kidding.
was supposed
I'm
to
just
fight this
kidding.
guy named Harris Stevenson. He's like 2-1 in bare knuckle.
Mm-hmm.
He fought Caleb Harris.
Oh, yeah. I was there for a
I don't
Caleb
know.
Harris fight, so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's who I was supposed to fight. Truthfully, that's kind of an introductory fight, you know. I kind of have a list. I want to fight him. I want to fight Melvin Gillard to get redemption. and then I don't know, whoever the fuck holds the belts, I guess. No, I want to fight Phil Baroni. I want to whip
The
his
New York
ass. God
Badass?
damn it, Phil Baroni. Yeah.
Well, and if
The
it's
phony
funny,
Phil
so
Baroni.
if you end up fighting Gillard and you beat him, you and, Ike will have something in common there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Ike's fucking talented, man. He's pretty good.
So he's
They had no fight. There's 0% chance Melvin Gillard made 55, though. I think Ike fights at 65.
Listen, I'm looking at it. It says lightweight, and he's fighting for a lightweight title next week. So
Yeah, but lightweight for boxing is different.
yeah, I never got into that shit.
Noob!
150
Come on,
pounds.
man. I thought you were
155.
supposed to know shit.
Listen, do you know what? You know when I started watching boxing? To be completely honest, Deontay Wilder.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, dude, I don't watch much boxing anyway. I only watch. Okay, so I watch fighters. I'm just guilty of that in general. I don't watch. I'm not like, hey, there's a UFC on. I really want to watch that. I just I find fighters that I fall in love with and I watch them. And like Vasyl Lomachenko is one of the fighters that I love to watch that boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Fury, I fell in love with him. I've been watching him. So that was crazy when he knocked out Deontay Wilder.
Well, and that's the thing. So
then,
watching Wilder before the whole Fury thing came together. Oh, what the hell? Was he knocked people out? There wasn't any point fighting. There wasn't any, let's go. Like, he was trying to kill people.
He's bro. I'm dead serious. I want to watch him versus
Joshua
Ngannou.
Oh shit!
I'm dead serious. I honestly, I think that'd be a real fight, bro. I'm dead serious.
Dude, absolutely. I'd watch that. I think it'd be more interesting, but So what did you think about?
Right, because
Go ahead.
Because that'd be a fight where you're like, all right, if Wilder doesn't try to fight technically, he might be in trouble.
I feel like that would be a straight up like Rock'em Sock'em Robot. Like one of them would just get hit and the head would just go whoop.
That's what we deserve. We deserve that.
Absolutely. So what do you feel about Masvidal taking that fight on 6 days' notice last weekend?
That's so badass. The fact that he even made weight on 6 days' notice is really impressive. It makes you wonder, like, how ready he was. I mean, he had to have been getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
There's never a time in my career that I could have made weight at 155 in 6 days. Never. Ever. It would have never happened. The best I did was I made 160 in 2 weeks to fight Adam Piccolotti.
Mm-hmm.
But, I went in there, whipped his ass, 14 days notice at 160. And then, that's when I started to realize, like, man, I just got tired of cutting weight. Like, it was just too hard for me. Like, I think that is telling of, like, he's in the right weight class. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that he can be in moderately good shape and fight 5 rounds and then go in there and make weight in 6 days, like, that's a weight class that works for him.
Mm-hmm.
I could have never done that at 155.
Well, and so many people talk about the old days, BJ Penn when he used to make 155, that was like his walking around weight. 170 was him putting on some muscle. But back then, a 170 guy probably weighed like 180 before they cut weight.
Right.
Now
yes,
a 170
exactly.
guy's like
walk
210.
around. Right.
Yeah. It's crazy. So, I'm so glad that you have a fight coming up.
Yeah, a guy fighting at 170 is like at least. Yeah, me too. Let me tell you about it. Let's hope it doesn't get canceled like the last one.
I don't think so. I think we've put on enough MMA to show that it can be done, and bare knuckle putting it for free on the app.
But they're doing it. Nah, here's the thing though. They're doing it with a crowd. Here. They're doing it with the crowd because they already sold. Shit, I don't know. I sold close to $35,000 in tickets, so all my people are still waiting to sit down and watch.
Holy shit. So, last time we talked, we didn't get to talk about, dad life. And I know one of your kids just had a birthday. So I want to focus more on Dave Rickels, the dad, instead of Dave Rickels, the fighter, for this remainder of the episode.
Okay.
So, tell me about all the kids and life as a dad.
All right, we got turd 1, turd 2, and turd 3. And they're just turdy as hell. Maverick just turned 1. Jeez. He's our youngest son. He looks identical to his brother at that age, so it's kind of funny to see that.
He really does.
Like, yeah, little David, man, like they look the exact same. So it's kind of funny. I'm interested to see what he looks like when he's older, But little David is 5 and Alexa's 7.
Jeez.
And yeah, man, isn't that weird? It's just weird because time flies by. But I don't know, dude. I got good ass kids. My daughter is a savage in jiu-jitsu. She's undefeated. She's done 3 tournaments so far, never been beat. So it's really pretty cool. And I'm not like the weird jiu-jitsu. I don't even like jiu-jitsu for one. So I'm not like the overbearing like jiu-jitsu wrestling dad. So I'm just like, hey, that's cool. Like, really glad you're winning. You know, of course I'm like cheering her on and happy for her and super psyched and stuff. But like, I'm not like forcing her to go to practice 8 hours a day and shit. So she's just a real natural athlete. So it's kind of cool to see. And she actually wants to do it. So that's what I love about it. And then little Dave likes kickboxing. He's 5. So his idea of kickboxing is like he's got a trainer that hold mitts for him and stuff like that. And he just likes to smack the pads and roll around on the ground and be a doofus. So
just like
I don't know. I just got fun kids, man. Yeah, exactly. Like you should have seen me as a kid, man. I was in trouble all the time for doing dumb shit.
I wish I could say the same. I really wasn't that kid. I had an older brother. I just watched him do stuff and go, all right, he gets in trouble if he does that. I'm not going to do that. Works for me.
Yeah. I was the class clown. So
no,
I mean,
you?
You know what? Just growing up, yeah, guilty as charged, folks. You heard it here first. I don't know. I was really a pretty good kid. I just, I would not shut up. I wanted to make everyone laugh. That sort of thing. So, I don't know. I was just a goofball, I guess.
And I feel like that carried over, but who would have thought the class clown ended up, fighting for a living?
Walking dinosaurs to a cage. Yeah, who would have thought?
That's still one of my favorite moments of all time, being at a fight. I'm not even going to lie. Just, like, that was fantastic.
Yeah. You were there, right?
Yeah, that was the first time we met.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that was amazing, man. Like, there's just so much to that fight, like, a lot of people didn't know about, like, the brawl afterwards and just...
The brawl afterwards, what?
Yeah, like, Sadawad's crew threw a bunch of chairs at, like, my teammates and coach, and they started throwing shit back, and they got in, like, a little feud or whatever, and it was just hilarious, man.
I didn't know about this.
I was in the back.
I don't think anybody knows about this.
Yeah. Yeah, so right after the fight, like, Sadawad's crew started throwing chairs at my coach and some other people, and my coach is holding up the check, and they're like, Caveman should have lost, blah, 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 all this stuff, and my coach just turns to him, and he's like, oh, yeah? Well, we got the fucking check! And he's just talking shit. Man, it was just hella funny. I didn't see any of it, but he told me about it afterwards. And
well, it's funny because I was there and I didn't see any of that. I was cage-side for that. I didn't see any of that.
It was like in the back where I walked through the back doors. But, anyway, so we had that little scuffle or whatever, and then I partied my ass off for 7 days straight in Florida and nearly died of a heart attack, I'm sure. So,
hey, you were nice enough to wish your sister a happy birthday mid-interview.
Yeah,
and pull her over. So
yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, she definitely gave me props for that. So I don't know, man. The dad life, the fight life. I'm lucky that they kind of coincide. Like my kids, I'm like their little hero. You know what I mean? Like they love me and stuff, and they love my fighting. And my daughter got to walk out with me for one of my fights. I don't know if you ever saw that, but she dressed up.
I've watched. I mean, I try to watch every single one. I think the only one I haven't watched since I've known you.
She dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I walked out in a caveman outfit with a spear, and she had the exact same outfit on, kind of sort of like passing the torch to the little caveman family and stuff like that. And she was hype, bro. She could not believe it. So that's where I fought Adam Piccolotti, actually, and we had a pretty tough fight, and my legs were really sore after the fight, and from kicking, like I could barely walk. Like they had to pick me up and carry me around, and my daughter comes running into the back and kicks me as hard as she can in the leg, and like I screamed like a little girl, and she just like she could, you know what I mean? Like to her, like to her, she didn't get that like, you know, we're really hurting each other in there. You know what I mean?
It was like a game.
Like it just looked like, yeah, like dad just was having fun, right? Like that looked fun, you know? This was a couple years ago, so she like was still pretty like she didn't really understand it, you know? But yeah, she's a little savage, and
it's still crazy to think that you have 3 kids. And when you showed that picture of Maverick, I thought it was little Dave. Like I legit,
for real?
I was like, why is he sharing a picture of? And you were like, "Happy first birthday, little guy," and I'm like, he's like 5.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing? Like, he looks exactly like him.
Time warp. Yeah, little caveman and Maverick look the exact same. So
now that they're a little bit older, you know, they're able to, you know, be a bigger part of the fight life. So what's that like for you? Kind of think about it in the back of your head, be like, hey, like they're watching daddy instead of just, you know, watching daddy, like not understanding what's really going on.
I fucking love it, man, because now I get to show them like grit, determination, you know, all those factors that go into fighting, and you know how easy it could be to quit, and you guys got to keep going and do your thing, man. Like these kids see me train. Like I have a setup in my house. I train a lot in my house. And they see me laying on the floor dying in my own sweat, you know, so they know how hard I work, and you know, that's something I preach to them. Like I don't tell my I don't call it chores or whatever, you know what I mean? Like almost everything I refer to is like work. I was like, we all got to put our work in every single day. Like my work, they know, is like, obviously I go to the car washes and take care of them, but they know that like me going to training, me going on runs and stuff, that's part of my work too. So, you know, I'm like, we got to get some work in today. What are we doing? And, you know, they do little bike rides with me and stuff. Like my daughter just did a 10-mile bike ride with me yesterday. So that was really dope. And
damn,
I mean, she's a little beast, dude. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and I can imagine. So, and I have to throw this in now for the rest of my life, every episode. I got my blue belt 2 weeks ago.
So, that's super dope.
So I was excited about that, and it's, you know, seeing how excited you are that your daughter loves jiu-jitsu, she's undefeated, like, that was better than watching you fight. Like, that, like, smile on your face and that emotion that you know, you showed, like, that's only something a dad can feel.
Yeah. That is part of dad life, though, man. Like,
oh, did we lose the caveman? Stay tuned. Hey! I think I lost you there for a second.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get out of the car. So yes, so let's just speak on that for a second. You know, just when you become addicted to things that should be.
Oh, I'm losing you again, Caveman.
Let me go inside.
Let me connect to that Wi-Fi. And now a word from our sponsors. What the hell is that?
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah,
God damn it.
I can hear you.
Stupid-ass thing.
Are you back in the car?
Am I back? Yeah, I got a puppy and I'm trying to figure out where he's at.
Listen, now you're oh my god. I think I see a dog.
Sorry, man.
It's alright,
This
man.
is part of my life. I'm super busy.
Listen, man, Ike felt so bad. He was like, I'm sorry, guys, blah, blah. And I said, listen, man. I said,
All
just
right.
come back on the show. Oh, my God. Look at that thing. What's his
Look
name?
at him. His name's Hunter.
Oh, my God. He's so cute. I guess everybody listening, you better watch the show because you're going to see a cute dog at 41 minutes in.
That's right. Yep. So, let me get some lights on here so we can continue the conversation. Okay, where were we at?
Dad life, man, and how it's such a big part of your life now because 7 years ago, you were just getting into dad life. Now you've got it firmly established, 3 kids and a dog. So,
Yep.
how are you balancing all that?
Well, I'm dying inside because I just gave away my first dog.
What happened?
But here's the best part of the story. Well, kind of a sad part of the story, too. My dad just found a place to live. He's been living in an apartment for a really long time. And he's an older guy. He's in his 70s. And he's lonely, man. So he loves my dog. Like, asks to see him all the time. Like, spends time with him and stuff. And I was like, hey, I want to, you got this new house. I want to give you my dog, Turk. So
Turd.
he's Turk with a K.
Listen, I heard turd. You called your kids
I know.
turds.
My kids are turds. They definitely act like turds a lot. So, but Turk went with my dad. So I'm grieving the loss of a child right now. But it's for a good cause. My dad loves my dog, so it's kind of a lose-win situation.
Well, yeah, and it's not like you can't ever see him again. It's not like you gave him to a complete stranger.
Right? Yeah. I know. So that's what people think of when I gave my dog away. But no, it's not to a stranger. It's to my dad. Like, I can still go over and see him. So it's a good game.
So talk about, when you got the call, or at least, when you found out you were going to be fighting again. I don't know what that is. I think your dog's going nuts.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's crackling really bad.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. How about now?
It's still pretty bad, but I can hear you.
I don't know what's going on. I thought it was on your end. Let me see.
Might be, but I don't know what would be. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, it's still kind of crackly, but
It's still.
we can't have a show without technical difficulties. Like,
I know, man. Jeez, dude. We
So-
had a rough go at doing podcasts together. That's for sure.
so let's put it this way. It's a good time to end it. That way there isn't a bunch of feedback and probably stuff. But you'll be fighting in the next month. I'm excited to see that. I want to see what Bare Knuckle does for you. And like I said, we're going to have Ike back on the show after he wins the title. Sorry, Luis Palamino, but I think this is Ike's time to take that title from him. Take that title out of that ring.
Which one of those guys is taking the fight on short notice? I can't remember.
It's Ike. 2 weeks notice.
Hell yeah. He's a gangster, though, dude. He's tough as shit, so that'll be fun to watch.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you, Caveman Rickels. Thanks, Ike. I know you can't be with us for the end of the show. Not sure what our technical difficulties are, but we'll have to figure them out. And it's all part of the show, so thanks, Caveman, as always. Quiggin Out MMA, Epic Jits tees, Quiggin Out MMA podcast shirt, Combat Press. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, bro. Appreciate your time.